Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Alexander Vargas, the lead engineer for True Nightmare, and I just want to give you some updates as to what's been going on for the past or so month and what are we going to be doing in the future. As a lot of you already know, there's been a lot going on since the outbreak, and a lot of us are forced to stay at home and work at home. I'm also a student at the University of Utah, and because of that, a lot of my courses that I'm usually going to physically are now moved to online. Me being someone who is not good at online courses, this is kind of a struggle for me, but on the same time, I'm working to make sure that I can get schoolwork done while also making sure that video games can still go out to the public so that way people can enjoy them. This also affects a lot of the people that I work with. Maria, who is our wonderful artist for a lot of our games, she too is also having to work at home, and because of that, we are receiving art assets at a much slower pace. Because of that, we can expect that a lot of our due dates and deadlines are actually pushed back a little bit, but hopefully we can still get a lot of things done, especially for you guys. Working at home isn't exceptionally difficult, at least not for me, because I do have my computer right here next to me, and because of that, I can get a lot of programming done. However, it's mostly staying on top of school and making sure that schoolwork is done at the same time, so that way I can have good grades and provide quality codes for when we need to do our due dates. So hopefully that doesn't cause too much of a conflict. In terms of what's been done for the past couple months, as a few of you probably already know, Cutie's Dungeon 2.0 is up. So that involves a new alternate ending, some extra lines we added in, and some balancing issues, and some better UI with bosses and some tells to know when they're fighting back. So Cutie's Dungeon at this point is about concluded after the 2.0 update. The storyline and what it leads to if you ever get to the alternate ending is actually going to be a setup for some future games. Games like Alone, which is an older game of ours that we put back up on itch.io to see how you guys responded to it. There was a lot of very positive praise, and we're actually very grateful for that. That looks like a project that we might be jumping back into in the farther future, where we might start implementing VR in terms of horror. I'm very excited about that, and hopefully you guys are too. Tornado did very well when it comes to how we did on Steam. We had a lot of wonderful reviews and great download numbers, and we want to thank you for that. The reason why we haven't put Tornado up on itch.io is because it received so well on Steam. However, it's not exceptionally difficult for us to make another upload on itch, and it might be nice to get some more views, especially from people that are used to playing only indie games. So expect to see that probably up sometime within April. In other news that isn't necessarily True Nightmare related, I am also working on another project called Sanda Surf, or at least that's the current name if we decide to ever change it. If you notice, it is up on early access on Steam. I'm not sure if a build is available just yet to anyone who is following us or adding it to their wish list, but please follow that because I've worked exceptionally hard with my team, and all of them are great, wonderful programmers and artists and animators, and we've all worked really hard on this project together. Sanda Surf is made by Golden Sand Games. It is a small company that was just made from my group over at the University of Utah. If you want to know what it's about, Sanda Surf is a callback to old Tony Hawk Pro Skaters and SSX sports games alike, where you play as a sand surfer trying to bring back a deity that humanity has once driven off. This story was originally crafted by Gary Hansen and has been worked wonderfully with our level designer Raul and our programmers, and a lot of us working together to make sure that this game is both a fun and a fascinating experience. For all you gamers who haven't had the chance to enjoy Tony Hawk Pro Skate or haven't even gotten into skate-like games in general, the physics and the mechanics we all think is a very fun experience, and we're very excited to bring that to you. As I mentioned, it is on early access, and we are looking forward to when you guys can all try it out. Moving on back into True Nightmare updates, we are also working on a new game. This game is currently under a different project name. It is under the name Project Box of Nightmares. It is a nostalgic bringback to old Match 3 games. We are very excited to announce that this game will be local multiplayer and hopefully online multiplayer, where you get to play a fun campaign, go back to all of our old characters and storylines, and get to enjoy a fun and classic feel for this Match 3 game. Some of you have played games like Pokemon Puzzle League or similar games like that, might recognize this type of game, and hopefully you can look forward to that. We've been spending a lot of time in terms of getting this ready for the Unreal Engine and working some enemy AI to make sure that everything is fun and fluid. So we, once again, are very excited to show you what we are working on in terms of Box of Nightmares. As of currently, I'm working on the UI for this game as well and structure for the game, so we've gotten a local multiplayer already working, the solo experience already up and running. We're trying to get some really fun and bright UI and hopefully the art assets ready. In terms of a campaign, we are still writing the campaign for this game. However, we are past the first draft and are more or less going through a couple edits. Hopefully the campaign will be just as fun as the actual, multiplayer and the local co-op. So we're trying to work our best to make it both a fun and unique experience for you guys, create a lore that all of you can enjoy, while also bringing back, the old Puzzle League feel. We are implementing a couple extra features to make sure that we aren't just knocking off an old game, and we want to make sure that this game is more or less inspired by older Puzzle League games while still having some nuances that make it original, and of course make it so that way this is a True Nightmare game and not just a revamped classic. As for plans in April moving forward, we are definitely moving at a slower pace, but we are excited to say that we are still trudging forward and going to have games up and running and ready for you all. Our biggest priority is to get Project Box of Nightmares done, and at least into an early alpha or into a beta that people can start testing up on Steam and letting us know and getting us early reviews. Sandersurf will hopefully be finished before the end of May and will be up and ready for the public to go ahead and try out. We are expecting this game to be free, so don't worry about any price tags. Once again, I look forward to making free games for our entire community and for all the wonderful people that have supported us thus far. As mentioned before, previous games are now closed. Cutie's Dungeon is over. We are not planning to do any more updates for that game. Tornado might appear back up on itch sometime within April, and as for Alone, unfortunately don't expect to see any more recent updates until after the outbreak is settled and we can actually start working in VR with multiple people in the same room. So that is more or less our update for True Nightmare. Thank you guys very much for listening, and hopefully we can still enjoy this wonderful time that we're spending in our homes. I hope everybody is doing well and you are all safe. And I'm excited to say that True Nightmare is standing strong, we're making games, and we're proud to bring them all to you. That concludes my end of the month update. I'm probably going to be doing more of these at the end of each month, more or less to update all of our viewers and to kind of keep myself accountable in terms of what I get done within each month, and to kind of update anyone else who may be interested. So once again, thank you guys for listening. That's all for the True Nightmare update, and you guys have a wonderful week. Bye!